So we'll try another couple of characters. I could try Kasumi and Ryu, but I think I'll try Hitomi instead. Hitomi is my favourite character in the series. I'll use this one as my favourite outfit for her. Basically, it says German, but she's half German, half Japanese, hence the Japanese name. Her dad is his dad's a German karate master, and her mum is Japanese. Yeah, this seems like a good idea. Fighting in the snow with no shoes on. It's always a weird thing in fighting games that when the characters start doing stuff like that. Yeah, so it was Hitomi's dad so Hitomi found Hayate with amnesia in the Black Forest of Germany, and she took him to her dad, who trained him in karate, and he entered the Dead or Alive tournament. No, Hitomi didn't follow for some reason, even though she just fancies him. That's the thing, she fancies him and still calls him Ein, even when she knows his actual name. And these two have almost a rivalry in dimensions. But, take this. I love how powerful Hitomi is. It's like in Dead Fantasy, which if you've not seen, you really should. It's this CGI action series by Monty Oum, who does a lot of animation for Rooster Teeth now. And it's like Final Fantasy girls fighting Dead or Alive girls. He never finished it, and it's never going to get finished. That's how much is obvious. But he told me because she has no special powers, she's just super strong. And for some reason, he told me he has a rivalry with Jan Lee. I don't know why, she just does. It's funny this because he was my favourite character back when I first played DOA 3. You may notice his stance has changed, so it's a lot more like movement. I don't know why they changed it, they just did. I don't know, maybe it's a technical limitation, the one the original had for him. Damn it. He used one of my favourite moves of his on me. Oh, that's how you win. Let's watch that again. Smack in the face. Now that would fucking rag. Having your head smashed against an ice floor. But yeah, so he told me her dad trained Ein. Really, the main reason they put her in this is because, well, Hayate has his memory back, so... Son of a bitch. Well, at least he didn't do the spinning part of it. Because then he really would have just destroyed me. Fuck. They brought the stage back for Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate, actually. I didn't really play much of Ultimate. I kind of tried out each of the characters and then that was it. It's a shame they didn't make the characters, the added characters, part of the story mode. They really should have done. Haha! And he dies from that. I don't know why they still have stuff like this. Like, if the character's going to die from the fall, they really should just make it the other character doesn't jump down after him. Like, he told me should have just stood there and watched him fall. But yeah. The main reason they added it is because when Hayate was got his memory back, obviously he's going to go back to a more ninja style. He's not going to stick with karate. That would be stupid. So they gave him this style that was it still has some of those moves, but it's also quite similar to Kasumi. So it's like a mixture of both. So he kind of plays like a mixture of Hitomi and Kasumi. So Hitomi basically plays like Ein does, but kind of less agile and more powerful, I think. Which is quite rare, really, when you think about it. How often do you see a female character who is strong? Because usually the female characters are the faster ones, but are weaker. Yeah, Hitomi's general deal is that she just wants to, she just wants Ein to come back to the dojo. I don't know. I feel like she could be good friends with Kasumi. That'd actually be really good. Like Hitomi could maybe learn Kasumi's story and try to speak to Hayate on Kasumi's behalf and say, you know what, these ninja rules are stupid. Let's face it, the ninja rules are fucking stupid. Especially when you take Dead or Alive Dimensions into account, because in Dimensions, Ayane is trying to kill Raido as well, while trying to kill Kasumi. Yeah, so Kasumi is a traitor for trying to kill Raido and avenge Hayate, but Ayane does it and it's okay. That's not even a job. Her goal, her objective isn't to kill Raido, just to kill Kasumi. And they're like, nope, only one of you's a traitor. It's so dumb. Damn it. You can't counter his moves. Genra's not playable. He's the first final boss to not be playable in the game they appear in, but in Dimensions he is playable. Also, I'm surprised they didn't bring him back for like 4 or Ultimate. But they did put Hitomi in Ultimate if you have a save of Dead or Alive 3 or Extreme. So that's nice. He beat me. Narcissism. I won't say narcissism is the right word. I feel like maybe overconfidence. But even then, that's not necessarily right, because Hitomi isn't really all that overconfident. It's kind of interesting though when it came to doing DOAX, because you can't have the girls with like preset relationships, but because Hitomi's relationships are only with Janli and Hayate, they had to basically invent new relationships for DOAX. So they just made her friends with Lei Fang, because why not? And he falls and dies. It's one of those again where it makes no sense for Hitomi to be fighting him. No, I like this ending because it gives a bit more character to Hitomi and her dad. Her dad has never really done anything in the story, just that he trained Hayate and Hitomi, and that's really it. So there he is. He's got this big tash. And he's just hardcore. They should make him a playable character, actually. Like, it could be a thing like Base, like he enters the tournament to stop her. Not stop her from achieving her goals like Base, because Base is a mongoloid fuck. But instead, he just wants Hitomi to not get herself hurt. Though that might not necessarily work with this characterization where he's just like, yeah, go on. I think she's trying to find I think the reason she's trying to bring Hayate back is that her dad falls ill. And so she wants Hayate to come back to kind of take over the dojo or something. But having Hitomi take over the dojo could be an interesting way to develop her character. You know, she succeeds her father as the head of the dojo, and so she's this awesome karate master, not just a practitioner. That'd be cool. So, I would play as Zack to keep that thing going where I go do that, but I really don't like Zack, so I'm just gonna. I'll play as Janli because I really like his moves. The alternate colour for that is yellow, and his white and red pants going to use alternate colour there. And you may notice that his selection pose is different as well. It happens to some characters; the poses change when you select them, depending on game. But yeah, black and gold. I mean, let's face it. Really, no colours go with black quite like red or gold, because they just look really good together. That's one of my favourite moves. Arse attacks. What is it with the Japanese having female characters attack with their arses? I mean, that doesn't seem like a good idea in general. It just seems silly, really. Do you want a drink? Do you want a drink, mate? I don't want a drink, mate. Yeah, so when I played DOA 4 online, Janli's a character I tended to use. Although, I think I'm actually better with Ryu, because when I played DOA Ultimate, one time I ended up getting over 100 wins in survival mode as Ryu, which could never get anywhere near that close as Janli. That same scene again. There's not really much point, showing it again. I don't think either... Well, last time neither character was dressed appropriately for the setting. Like, why the hell... Well, for one, why is this cave even here? You see the torches in the background? So, clearly this is supposed to be an actual arena for the tournament. But yeah, so you got Janley going around with no shirt on. And last time Hitomi had no shoes. She did this time, though. It's just one of those things you kind of have to accept in fighting games, I guess, because that's the kind of the thing, like, you want these varied locations, so a snow area makes sense. I hate when he does that. It's like the only move he knows anymore. Oh, that was good. I know these two don't have a rival cutscene in this game, as you can tell, because there's no cutscene. Stop doing that. I'm not even kidding. Like, damn near every single counter Ryu has leads directly into that move. It's ridiculous. And then he has, like, I think he has like 2 ways of executing it normally. One is a throw, and one is a big combo. It's all he does now. It's just dumb. What was he on about? Before I started ranting about Ryu. Oh, actually, no. I won't knock her that way. I was going to knock her through this, but no. Apparently, she knocked me through. See, yeah, I love this kind of arena. Oh yeah, so it's the kind of thing you have to accept because the characters are martial artists, and so it makes sense to have at least a few of them in actual martial arts clothes, which usually doesn't have any kind of footwear. So it makes sense, but when you actually put them in these snowy locations and stuff, or most locations really, it just seems weird. Now this is an odd fight to have. Strength always prevails, as you will soon see. This seems actually kept in Dead or Alive Dimensions, though the two don't actually fight in Dimensions. Instead, you fight one of them. They did that a few times where, like, it'll show up. I think it happened with one of the. I think it was the Bass and Tina cutscene from this game too. Yeah, they fight again. Spoiler alert. But it's like, so the whole deal was that it shows off you have the characters about to fight, and then whoever you're playing as, usually like Ryu or Ayane or whoever, they just kind of just come in and say, "Nope, I'm taking over." Also, speaking of like Bass or Bass or whatever, he and Ayane actually debuted in DOA 1. For whatever reason, the version of Dead or Alive 1 in using Ultimate did not include either of them. Bass was added for the PS1 version, I think, and... Damn it. Yeah, so he was using the PS1 version. Ayane was, I believe, a training dummy in the original, with no story. Which I guess that's why she has purple hair. But I feel like if you're going to make an actual character with purple hair, a ninja is not the way to go. Unless everyone can have ridiculous hair colours. You know, if most of the characters are realistic, don't give a ninja purple hair. It looks stupid. Because they just stand out to a ridiculous extent. This scene. This is one of the better endings. I actually really like this one. People drinking, this guy's like, ha ha ha, I put out my cigar here. And Janley's like, I think that's a Bruce Lee thing, the whole wagging the finger. Look at that detail. Bloody hell. You practically have that much detail in DOA 5 as it is. Because DOA 5's got really good graphics. But yeah, Janley's actually a bouncer. That's his occupation. Now, of course, every Bruce Lee analogue has to have nunchucks at some point. In fact, that image of Janley there with his hand up in front of his face, that's the cover for DOA 3. At least the one I have. I think I actually owned this game 3 different times. Once when I originally just had it, then when I got into DOA later on, and then now. So I've had DOA 3 times. That's an odd coincidence.